What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. Today we are on a track that has a bit of a special place in terms of MX bikes for me. The track is Dorno 2017 and it is made by, his name is right here, made by Pinoof on the MXB Mods website. Now this track is the very first track that I ever done a proper organised race on, organised event on, and surprisingly at the time it went really well. I think I was about 2 to 3 weeks deep in the game. You know, I'd been grinding the hell out of it when I first got it. I must have put in maybe 100, probably about 100 hours in the first 2 weeks. It was ridiculous. I was putting so many hours in because, well, I feel like when I get a new game, I hate being bad at games in general. Any game that I get that I show some sort of interest in, at the start I'll always try and grind it as much as possible just to get to a certain base level of how good I am, and that was exactly the case here. I remember spending hours and hours playing the stock Washougal track, just trying to improve my lap times, as I used to be a bit of a time trial hero back in my MX Simulator days as well. There's something about going for hot laps that I just do really enjoy, but this was my first organised proper race. I can't even remember I don't think it was part of a series or anything. I think it was a one-off fun race hosted by the likes of McChicken and Dad Shoes and Reese, for example, and it was actually streamed by Jin as well. If anybody's up to date on like the US aerial series, you'll know who Jin is. He streams a whole bunch of events. He streamed the Nations for the last 2 years as well, and so if you do want to go and check out how that went at some point, then feel free to go through his channel. I'm sure it's not that long ago now. What would it have been? So very end of 2020 / very beginning of 2021 maybe. But it was a really good race, really fun, and it was a 125 race, which is why I'm on the Gas 125 right now for you guys, just to have a bit of a rip, kind of go back down memory lane. Although it is a little bit harder to clear some of the jumps now that the traction's a little bit worse off with beta 17. Okay, let's pretend that didn't happen. But I'm going to spoil the results, so if you did want to go and watch Jin's stream back and have a look, go do it now. However, I ended up winning the first moto, which I was really stumped by. And really surprised, and a few of my friends at the time that were already playing bikes, they was kind of boosting my ego in chat saying, oh, he's only been playing this long, blah blah, and it just felt pretty good. However, Moto 2 came round and I did hit the big choke. I think I ended up getting like P3 in Moto 2, which saw me being either second or third overall. I know that Chicken was right up there, and I think he won Moto 2, but I can't remember who the other guy was that was up there as well in the top 3 of us. But anyway, I digress. It was a really good time, really good race, and I was scrolling through the MX Bikes Mods website, just kind of looking for some inspiration on what sort of track I wanted to play in today's video, and I scrolled past this and I just thought, you know what, why not? I mean, the track itself, it's nothing like extraordinarily difficult or unique. I mean, it's Dorno. Most people know Dorno by now. For the most part, it's a fairly standard track. However, it's a very fast track, and especially when you get on the two strokes around here, you really do kind of have to put the hammer down, and you can go so fast, even on the bad traction. This track seems to really hold you really well. Let's get over that. That split section caused people some grief, and the only negative thing I have about this track really is some of the timing gates are really a bit sketchy. Like if you go off the track by like a millimeter, you go off a tiny bit, you'll get punished for it, and that did come into play when we was doing these races a year or so ago. Funnily enough as well, I left a joke. I think I wrote it in the chat at the time, in the lobby. I think I made a joke saying, when are you going to sign me to, I think it was McMonster back then, it wasn't McCreations that we've got now. And then I remember I watched back Jin's stream afterwards, just because I know that they was in a Discord call, and I just like seeing what people were saying about you, really. I'm not sure if that's an ego thing or what, but I was just interested to see if people were saying anything in the stream chat as well. And I remember that McChicken did even say like Lin's to McCreations ? And this was way before all the YouTube thing, and I feel really that's kind of how I got my leg in the door in terms of being able to talk to those guys and be on the McCreations team as well originally, is just by having one good race, just showing up out of the blue and doing well. And I can't remember what my races were after that. I think shortly after I'd done this 125 race, there was a series called, I think it was Let's Ride, and they was doing like a Loretta's qualifier and such, and I asked if I could go into the pro class, and they was like, no, you've not done any races, you can't do pro. So I had to go into the AMs, and I won the qualifier by like a ridiculous amount, although to be fair, that was at Washougal, so the track that I'd been grinding since I'd got the game was the track that the qualifiers are on. And then I won by a long way in the AMs, and then I DM'd him again saying, are you sure I can't be in pro? Which I think he let me at that point, but I don't think I'd done the actual race regardless. I think it was at a time when I couldn't do it. So but yeah, those are kind of really the origins of how I started getting racing in this game. One of my friends, he's not really active in the scene anymore. Fred, he watches the videos occasionally, but friend that I made back in the MX Simulator days. Started playing bikes before me, kind of got me into the game, gave me like my base setup and everything when I first got the game as well. So I suppose in a way he is the person to thank in terms of my success here. I mean, if I never got into this game, I wouldn't have this channel either. I wouldn't be able to make videos for you guys. And yeah, it's just kind of weird looking back on things and kind of seeing how they started. And I remember like one of the first videos I uploaded on bikes was some Washougal hot laps, and then I believe it was I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. Is it Tushental hot laps as well? And then my very first commentary video, I think, was, funnily enough, one of the highest viewed videos on this channel, which is like a 5 ways or 5 tips to improve MX bikes video. And when I go and watch it back, I cringe so much. I mean, I hate listening to my voice now. I hate going back and like watching videos and listening. I even hate the editing process because I've got to go listen to myself again. But if I go back and watch that video in particular, because I had like a pre-made script that I'd written out, that I knew what I was going to say. It's not like these videos where it's just all on the fly, you know, just straight from the top of my dome. Rock the microphone, freestyle. I hope someone gets that reference. I hope I don't just make myself look like a complete dick. But very good song. Off topic. Sorry, let's go back. Yeah, these videos aren't scripted whatsoever. I just ride around and kind of say what comes to the top of my head. However, back then I did I had that notepad open on my desktop with some notes or even like whole paragraphs and stuff that I'd want to say. And that tips video was exactly like that. Which, I mean, fair enough. It's that sort of video. But if I go and watch it back now, I feel like it's just a school teacher giving a class presentation or something like that. It just sounds so awkward and so unnatural. And I wish there was one of them videos that I'd done now. One, because it had insane views, and you know the YouTube ad revenue would have been very, very nice off the back of that. But two, just because I feel like I flow a bit more now. You know, I mean, I'm an awkward person in general. I mean, aren't we all? We all kind of sit indoors and play video games for the most part. I feel like we're all a little bit awkward in our own ways. But I like to think that this whole YouTube thing over the last year or so has helped me kind of like come out of my shell a little bit, even in day-to-day life, you know, outside of like Discords and YouTube, just in day-to-day life and working, just being able to talk to people a bit easier. So I was always someone like through what you'd associate as being like your prime years, you know, going through secondary school and stuff. I was just kind of at home all the time, just like playing Call of Duty, playing games like Reflex, for example, just grinding away. And although I was talking to people back then, it was always online. So when you then at that age you go and talk to people like face to face, when you go out in the real world, you know, when you get a job and stuff and you realise, hang on a minute, I've got zero social skills. It's a little bit difficult to adjust to at first, but definitely feel like the YouTube thing as well has just helped me massively. And once you get out in the big wide world, things start moving in a hurry. So yeah, things go really, really well, and I feel like as a person, I'm quite happy with myself. I don't feel like I'm a massive arsehole. Obviously, there's some people that I'm not too fond of, that I can be a dick towards. But I think for the most part, unless you kind of do me wrong, for the most part, I'm okay. I make my little digs here and there for a bit of fun, and I guess sometimes my sense of humour or my jokes might be a little bit too far for some people. But for the most part, on this channel at least, I try and censor myself. You know, because at the end of the day, whilst I try and be me as much as possible, you do still have to hold up somewhat of a, like a, not a persona, but you can't just say whatever you want. I know some people can. I myself care a little bit too much about what people think of me, which is an awful characteristic to have, but I know that full stop. You shouldn't really care what people think about you unless it's like something really bad. I don't really know what I can use as an example there, but obviously some people are just arseholes. There's no way around it. I try not to be up myself too much. I just try and be chill, you know. And one thing that always does surprise me, and every time I go back and I look at numbers as well on this channel, and it's been like, oh, we're almost at 25,000 people that are watching me, and if I sit there and think of there'd been 25,000 people in a room like watching me play a video game, that's kind of weird. Like that is insane. Like, it's really, really odd to think about it in that perspective, especially when I kind of think of myself as not the most entertaining person. Maybe voice is a little bit monotone from time to time, but then I see a lot of people saying that that's exactly why they watch me, because it's just more of a chilled vibe. You know, it's not massively high energy and it's like overwhelming and quick takes here, there, and everywhere. And I feel like that kind of makes me fit into my own little niche in a way. So yeah, really, really happy that for the most part I just get to be myself when I do this as well. Get to sit down, talk to myself for like half hour to maybe 2 hours a night, depending on what sort of video I'm going for, and then yeah, just get to edit together a quick little video for you and upload it to the internet. And it's almost like my my little bit of, what's the word, like, not, I don't know if therapy's the right word, but or stress relief. I don't know how you describe it, but it's a way that I just get to kind of vent to the microphone, you know, just get to say what's on my mind, like how my day is gone and so on and so forth. And that's, I really like streaming as well, because you always get people showing up and they might be along the lines of, I've had a really bad day but glad I could catch the stream. It makes me like feel better, takes my mind off things, and I'm really happy that I could help in that capacity. So yeah, just really, really good stuff. And I feel like I've done exactly the same as I did in yesterday's video, where I've talked about everything except the track. This track made by Pinu Fizz, I want to say it's one of them tracks that almost everybody has probably played. If you haven't, of course, I'll leave it in the description, like I always do. Not a whole lot in terms of environment, but having never ridden Dorno in real life, or having never seen an IRL GoPro of it, I can't comment on the environment too much. I imagine it's probably quite a plain track. I mean, you can see the aerial view of it in testing when you see the preview picture of the track. It's just got an aerial view of the real life track, and it does look very plain, looks quite bland, but overall it's a really good track. It's one of them tracks that I played in Sim. I think it's been redone in Sim a few times. Only one version of it in this game though, I believe, which is this one. I don't think I've ever seen any other versions. But just a very, very easy track just to hop on and play and rail some laps, really. Probably much, much easier to ride a smaller bike. So for example, the 125 that I'm on right now, or maybe a 250. I can imagine the 450s are a little bit of overkill. They would be a little bit over the top, but just do what makes you happy, really. Just ride whatever suits you. That'll do it for me for this video. What I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to pre-record a few MX Bikes videos, because Supercross 5... Oh, please, survive. Supercross 5 comes out on the 17th. It's the 15th when I'm recording this, but I want to do kind of what I've done with MXGP 21, where I had 2 videos a day. So I had the usual MX Bikes uploads for you guys that aren't interested in Supercross, but then I also have a Supercross video as well. So I've got the day off of work on the 17th, so I can record a handful of videos for you guys on that game. But what I want to do is just kind of do double uploads. So what I think it'll be, the Supercross videos will be my normal time, so the 8 AM in the UK, whatever time that is for you guys. I'm not sure, you'd have to do the conversion there, I apologise. And then 8 PM, or maybe a little bit earlier, maybe like 5 PM or so my time, is when the MX Bikes video will go up. And just to kind of keep both parties happy. And obviously I don't know, I'm not a mind reader, I can't travel into the future and then come back and, you know, I don't know how the Supercross game is going to be. I don't know how it's going to perform, I don't know how long I'm going to do videos on it for, but that's why I want to kind of preemptively get ahead right now and just put myself in a good position, really, so I haven't got to stress about anything. And I feel like I'm getting better at that as time goes on. It's just trying to do things ahead of time, so I'm not stressing last minute, and I'm excited for it. You know, it's a new game for me. I know some guys are burnt out on the whole Supercross series, but it's not a series that I've played a whole lot whatsoever. I've got under 10 hours on Supercross 4, and I've not played any other Supercross game, so it's going to be nice and new and refreshing for me. So we'll see how it goes. So I'm excited to bring it to you, and hopefully you guys will be along for the ride, and hopefully it will bring some nice new faces to the channel as well and help us grow a little bit. And that will do it from me for the video today, I think. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please do drop a like on the video, always greatly appreciated, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until I catch you guys in the next video, peace.
My tent way too damn dark, laugh in your face like man dark. Came a long way from the bad days way back, had to burn down that landmark. Seen some things I ain't really want to see, it's all good, that's what made me me. Now who would I be if I had it easy? Used to break down, now I'm in a 350, like whoa. I've been laying way too low, had to switch up and change my flow, cause I'm back from the block, had to bust some rocks and dust off the dust and get back in the box. Now why you wanna